Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Unfiltered and Unapologetic, the space where we talk healing, faith, money, mindset, and the things we were never taught to name without leaving our culture out. I'm your host, Caitlin Gil-Soto, born and raised in Lawrence, Massachusetts, proudly Dominicana, and also raised between Bani and El Cibao. And today's episode is for January energy. Not hustle January, not pressure January, but intentional January. This is an episode about choosing direction instead of drifting, about why writing your goals down actually works, especially for those of us who grew up adapting, surviving, and figuring things out as we went. So, if you've ever felt resistance around goal setting or pressure when people talk about new year, new you, this conversation is for you. And I have the first question for you guys. When you think about setting goals, what feeling comes up first? Pressure, fear, resistance, or hope? If you grew up Dominican, immigrant, or first gen, chances are you didn't grow up with a 5-year plan. You grew up with you needed to resolve everything little by little, or let's see what happens, not because there was no ambition, but because life was unpredictable. When money isn't consistent, when stability isn't guaranteed, you learn to respond to what's in front of you, to not decide too far ahead. That's survival wisdom. But the downside of this is when you never practice intention, life stays in change of direction. Your nervous system stays alert because it doesn't know where you are going, only what you are avoiding. Writing goals isn't about controlling the future. It's about telling your body we're not just reacting anymore. I have another journal prompt here for you guys. Where in your life are you still responding to circumstances instead of choosing direction? For many of us, writing goals down feels vulnerable. But once it's written, it feels real. And real things can disappoint. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand." Not because words are magical, but because clarity organizes energy. When you keep your desires in your head, they stay vague. When you write them down, your body starts to orient toward them. Discomfort doesn't mean it's wrong. It usually means it's unfamiliar, especially if you were taught not to get ahead of yourself. Writing it down isn't arrogance. It's permission. I have another journal prompt here for you guys. What do you fear could happen if you fully name what you want this year? If you've never read The Secret, here's the grounded version. It's not about wishing. It's not about pretending life is perfect. At its core, the book is about focus. The idea is that your mind is always filtering the world, deciding what to notice, what to prepare for, and what to respond to. So if your focus has mostly been on keeping up, not dropping the ball, making sure nothing goes wrong, your nervous system stays on high alert. Writing goals down gives your attention something specific to orient toward. You're not manifesting out of thin air. You're training your mind to stop holding everything at once. For me, this became real when I started writing everything down. My goals, my daily tasks, even small things. Not because I was trying to manifest harder, but because holding it all in my head was making me anxious. Once it was on paper, my mind could relax. I didn't have to overload my brain with everything I needed to do. I could move one step at a time. And what I noticed was that things started coming together more easily. Not overnight, not perfectly, but steadily. Writing things down didn't make me more rigid. It made me calmer. And when I'm calmer, I make better decisions. That's why it works. I didn't realize how much I was holding in my head until my body started reacting. Having a tight chest, scattered focus, always feeling like I was forgetting something. Writing things down wasn't about being productive for me. It was about letting my nervous system breathe. Once it was on paper, my body stopped bracing. I could rest and then decide. I have a journal prompt here for you guys. What are you holding in your head right now that could be released onto paper so your minds can rest? After The Secret, a lot of people eventually find Florence Scovel Shinn, which I have mentioned her in my previous episodes, a lot of times without even realizing it. She was a spiritual teacher in the early 1900s, and her work feels familiar to anyone raised with faith. Florence didn't teach forcing outcomes. She didn't teach hustling God. She taught expectation without anxiety. One of her most known ideas is that your word is your wand, meaning what you consistently say, agree with, and expect has power in shaping your experience. But not because words are magic, but because when you speak and write from calm certainty, your body settles. And when your body settles, you move differently. This matters culturally. In Dominican homes, worry often sounds like responsibility. Overthinking gets confused with being prepared. Stress gets confused with care. But Florence made a clear distinction. Faith is calm. Fear is urgent. Writing your goals from faith doesn't sound like, I need this to work or else. It sounds like, this is the direction I'm choosing, and I trust God to meet me there. You're not replacing faith with planning. You're giving your faith somewhere to go. I have another journal prompt here for you guys. Do the goals you're writing sound more like calm expectation or quiet anxiety dressed up as responsibility? There's a difference between goals that come from survival and goals that come from intention. Survival goals sound like, I just need to get through, or as long as nothing bad happens, or I'll deal with it when it comes. Those goals keep you alert. They keep you bracing. Intentional goals sound like, this is what I'm building. This is what I'm prioritizing. This is where I'm heading little by little. Intentional goals don't require panic to work. They create steadiness. And steadiness is what allows consistency. Writing your goals down shifts you from reacting to life to participating in it. I have another prompt for you guys. Which of your goals are rooted in fear of survival? Which feel rooted in alignment? Goals work when they feel believable to your body. Not dramatic, not punishing, not rushed. A lot of our money goals don't stress us out because of the numbers. They stress us out because they're rooted in survival. Florence Scovel Shinn emphasized calm expectation, not pressure. So, write goals that sound like cooperation with life, not control over it. Instead of, I need to fix everything this year, try, I move toward stability with patience and consistency. Instead of, I have to make more money, Try, I allow money to meet me with steadiness. Language matters because your nervous system is listening. I have the last journal prompt here for you guys. What would your goals sound like if they were written to support you instead of push you? And now we're going to end with the prayer. So put your hand on your chest and take a deep breath. Dear God, you know where I come from and you know what I've carried. Thank you for the protection that kept me going and the clarity that now invites me to choose differently. Steady my mind as I plan. Calm my mind and my body as I decide. Guide what I write so it aligns with who I'm becoming. Let my intentions be clear. Let my steps be supported. Let what is meant for me to meet me without struggle. Amen. And I have some affirmations here for you guys as well. I choose direction over drifting. I am allowed to decide. My goals bring clarity, not pressure. What I move toward intentionally move towards me. If this episode met you where you are, let it sit. You don't have to rush into action. You don't have to do everything at once. Intentionality isn't loud. It's steady. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is decide calmly, clearly, where you're going next. If you want to continue this work, I always recommend journaling alongside these conversations. I also have blank journals available on Amazon if you want a dedicated space to write, reflect, and get things out of your head onto paper. Even one page is enough. Even one sentence is enough. You don't have to do this perfectly for it to support you. You can also support the show on Buzzsprout with a monthly contribution and on Instagram and TikTok at Unfill and Unapologetic Pod. Sharing episodes, leaving a review, and engaging really does help this space grow and reach the people who need it. All of the links will be in the show notes. We're not forcing this year. We're choosing it on purpose. I'll see you in the next episode.